Good Sunday morning, everyone. About 7 o'clock. You'll notice a few things missing off the bench. Back over there, some stuff missing. My table's a lot emptier than what it used to be. Well, there's a reason for that. Also got some nice stylish green totes down here. Well, the reason for that is because I noticed in the last week we've got a slight mildew issue down here, and that's what that white stuff is under my toolbox. That is mildew on that carpet. Now, I live in an 1870s two-story brick home, and these walls down here are just about 18 to 24 inches thick, and below grade they're not sealed. Now, above grade, about 5 years ago we had the house tuck pointed and sealed, so moisture upstairs is not an issue no more. But down here in the basement, being this is a brick home, these walls are very porous, and moisture is a major issue down here. And I kind of knew that going in, putting my shop down here. I just didn't know how extravagant it would be, because I've never been down here year-round before. So, to combat the issue of moisture, what I did was to go out and buy a dehumidifier. Now, this little jobby here has been working since about 20 after 5 this morning, and already it's removed about an inch of water in the bottom of that reservoir. For the first 24 hours of this thing's life, you're supposed to run it continuous operation, which is the CO, continuous. And reading reviews of this online, the humidity gauge, according to several people, is not accurate by any means. It started out at 80% humidity and has been slowly dropping throughout the last hour and 20 minutes to about 55%, but even that's not accurate, because I brought my thermometer down here and it says it's 68 degrees at 73% relative humidity. It's pretty bad when outside it's less humidity than what it is inside. So what I need to do is go through here and clean, get these rugs out, sweep everything. I still have my little HEPA bags in my shop vac. I'll sweep the walls down, sweep the carpets. Everything must be cleaned down here this morning. Shouldn't take too long. It's been needing it for a while anyway. But it's amazing, this mildew and crap, what it's attacking. Like the cord on that lamp right there has turned it all fuzzy. The cables on my computer has turned them fuzzy. Even like this USB cable has turned it fuzzy. My keyboard has got crap growing down between the keys and we'll have to clean real well, like around that knob. Now, luckily I'm not having trouble with it attacking radio chassis, speakers, things like that that are plastic. Now, things that are rubber, it's on them like stink on shit. Take for instance this tape measure. That's got a rubber grip on top. My DeWalt battery drill laid down here on this table for 2 months. The whole rubber grip on it was white. I had a few things over here. Luckily on this Motorola set it's not messed with the back on that, but I had a few, like my one airline set, the set here, the back was getting mildewed and the case was starting to mildew. But it doesn't seem to be attacking any of this, none of my books. Some of the cords that I've had in here forever and a day, it's mildewing. Now, I know these cords had an issue anyway, but some of them are worse than others, and other ones are just fine. Like I said, luckily, somehow it's not messing with any of my books down here. Doesn't seem to mind them. Now, I had a little pocket transistor radio. Had been up in this little unit up here for probably since March or February when I moved down here. Laid right on top of this set. This set was fine. This set was fine. The whole leatherette case was green, like moldy bread. So I had to clean that with bleach water and clean it up real good, but everything else up in here doesn't seem to be bothering too much. That one piece of crap speaker subwoofer I had down here, it was kind of mildewy. Much junk anyway. So yep, she's working. This is a Solaris air unit powered by Gree. Gree is a company out of course, everywhere but China. Solaris Air was an American company that forged with Gree here in a few last few years ago. So far this thing seems to be working pretty well. This is a 70 pint a day unit, which I think the reservoir holds about 15 or 17 pints. So if you empty it 4 times a day, blah blah blah, you'll get 70 pints out of it. It'll remove 70 pints in 24 hours, is its claim to fame. And here is the unit on the Solaris Air's website. These little things are energy suckers, that's for sure. This thing draws 765 watts at 7.3 amps. Very, very and it's even got an Energy Star rating. Boy, it seems like a lot of power consumption, but you're on a blower 24 hours a day and a compressor, and I can see where it adds up. The thing that bothered me on these, I started looking at some of the reviews, and of course, like anything else you look at, you'll find the good with the bad. Most people had anywhere from a 4 to a 5-star review on this. Few had a 1 or 2. This guy here says the best use for this machine's a junkyard. But most of them liked it. Another thing that bothered me, I was looking through reviews. Solaris Air and Kenmore. These were manufactured for Kenmore by Solaris Air too. Consumer Reports actually give this thing a Best Buy consumer rating. And not very much longer after that, both the Solaris Air and Kenmore models in the 25, 30, 45, 50, and 70 pint sizes, which I have downstairs, was recalled for their electronics bursting into flames unexpectedly. And my model was in here, but they've changed the prefix on it. Mine is a GLDEH70F2. 70F2. And what they have on here is a GLDEH70-2 and a GLDEH70P-2. And these were manufactured in between, it says here somewhere. I hear a guy shot a video of his burning away. These go back to 2010, and they just put the recall out in June. And some people were remarking, told there was not a recall of the units, and I may continue to use the unit as long as I follow the instructions in the owner's manual. I pressed a representative for more information about what does it mean. Follow the instructions in the owner's manual, he said. After some back and forth, it turns out some people never clean the filter, and reduced airflow can result in smoke being produced. Fire was not mentioned. I am continuing to use the unit, but I steadfastly keeping the air cleaner clean. Oh, I could see that. This thing's got tolerances around it for air spaces. 12 to 14 inches around the back, the front, and the left side, and a minimum of 40 inches around the right side where the exhaust comes out at. Let's see what this is all about. This is on YouTube.
So this was actually in my home in the utility room. Fortunately, a good friend of yours, electrical burn. Would you like to be in the video? Get credit for actually. My friend Joe does not want to be in the video, but fortunately he smelled an electrical fire in my utility room. a utility room that I don't often enter and probably would have walked back into my home office and worked for hours while this caught on fire. This is the dehumidifier for my home. Out of nowhere, it spontaneously caught on fire and began sparking. Fortunately, we were able to get it outside where it's probably freaking out anybody. Nope, nobody wants to come around here. Wow, look at those flames. This is insane. Well, whatever brand this is, I would recommend avoiding. The irony is I got a whole YouTube video about purchasing this at Menards. The Soleus Air, powered by Gree, has a new feature of spontaneous fire. This is insane. This could have destroyed my home. See, this would have...
Wow. And that is the previous version of this unit. And I've been keeping an eye on it this morning because I do not want to experience anything like that in my basement and nobody know about it. So we'll keep an eye on this thing throughout the day and see what we wind up with. How much moisture this thing will remove from the air. Here's another good example of what this stuff's attacking. This is my Dominion 2-speed reversible box fan I have down here in the basement. And the handle's chalky where this stuff's growing on it. Incredible. Doesn't seem to be attacking the all rubber power cord or anything like that, but just anywhere you put your hands, that I guess you've created some bacteria by putting your hands that oil your skins on. It grows off of that. Well, it's 10 after 8 and a little short of 2 hours of running. We're now up to here on our moisture collection. And on the back, what I was telling you about that, you won't see it. Right here's this air cleaner I was telling y'all about. Right here. That's the part people seem to not be wanting to clean on this thing. And I can't believe for a 45-pound unit, they give you this cheap-ass little handle to pick this thing up with. Well, I don't plan on moving it a whole lot. But for the most part, cleaning's going pretty good. I'm going to have to clean the carpets down here. Luckily, I have some resolve. I can do that. Over here on the bench, most of my stuff is made out pretty good. Nothing's moldy. Nothing's mildewed. Gonna have to wipe off the power cords, like from my WR50B RCA signal generator. The cord has gotten musty. But it's left these other cords alone in my isolation transformer, my 12-volt power supply, my Variac. It's left that one alone. Back over here in the corner, everything seems to have made out pretty good. I had to wipe my scope off and clean it up a little bit. This 3M tape machine that was underneath of here has a solid wood cabinet. It had gotten kind of musty. I had to clean it up a little bit, but everything back here along this wall was okay. The Heath kit was alright, and my cabinets and everything else. But these two shelves that I had here, these two storage containers units, those things, when I pulled them out, of course immediately the back wheels on this one collapsed because it's so damn cheap. I just took the wheels off of there. But back here was like soaking wet with moisture. It was like beaded up moisture. Luckily nothing had gotten in, like I said, and ruined my books or any of my material. But I wiped them all down. I figured I'm going to clean. But instead of using bleach water and getting everything really stinky down here and being under the house, I was going to use something equivalent to Lysol disinfectant wipes, and this will kill 99.9% bacteria, including the flu virus. Now we've also got some around here somewhere. Those are for kitchen. She had some for a while that had bleach in them. Those were really harsh on stuff. So I wiped my tube caddy box down. It had gotten kind of musty and funky. Wiped those cabinets all down. Wiped my fan off. And surprisingly, the boards here on this wall, and this is an internal wall, didn't get moisture behind them. They're okay. I'd really like to see what the back of this bench looks like, this wood cabinet part, plywood against the wall. So we're saying about living in an old house like this, you got to make sure you got stuff out away from the wall far enough that air can infiltrate and get back behind there, or it'll just must up. So this thing's still showing we're 74% humidity. Just got done spraying down the carpets after sweeping them real good, both front and back, as best I could around these posts. And even the little hook and loop rug over there, I cleaned him off real good. Now we'll let this dry for a couple hours, then come down here and vacuum them real good. Then I got to work on my toolbox. It's very musty too, and has gotten a lot of mildew around the bottom of the case. I'll have to go through the box too and make sure nothing has gotten damaged in there. I had a spool of wires laying right over here on the front of the bench. It's been down here for several months. It has about turned solid rust. I found what I'm going to be doing pretty much all day today. Then after that's done, I got to come over here and clean my computer area, because like I said, you could see the white on the speakers and the keyboard and cables. Fun, fun, fun.